Batman Day! What is happening, guys? Yes. How's it going, Scott? Of course, with me as always. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Had to wear like my Darwin Cook
Awesome.
first appearance Batman, purple gloves, the whole deal. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, guys, we appreciate you clicking in. You know, a few hours later than the normal bat time. Yes, I did have to, I went to a barbecue today with some friends I hadn't seen in a couple of years because, you know, a little something that's going on out there. So we hadn't seen each other. So yes, so we postponed it a little bit. We could have canceled the whole thing, but you can't cancel it on Batman Day. You have a Batman stream, you ain't canceling on Batman Day.
No, it's like you're legally obligated to actually do the stream, like
especially an episode like this. I mean, coming off of Nostromos from last week.
Jeez,
we try to forget that episode.
Oh my god, because I'm sitting here going, I already have like 3 times as many notes as I did last week. I mean, it didn't take much.
Yeah, seriously, what's going on, Lane? And we got Nathan right there too. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it'll probably be a little smaller crowd than usual tonight since it's a little bit later. But what's great about before we get started here is I came home to something that was pretty cool, and it was like perfect for Batman Day, perfect all around. I was like, sweet. I'm glad it showed up today, and you'll be able to get yourself one too. Look at this. We're on a shirt now.
I'm on a shirt. Look, Ma, I'm on a shirt.
You're on a shirt, and I'll be sending you one, so I'll hit you up about your size and all that.
Oh, I'll go ahead and tell you. I'm a medium.
Okay, so that's what I wear too, so that works out. Yep, so there you go, guys. This will be down in the Film Junkie closet if you want to go check it out. And you patrons out there, hold up, because I will have a special patron discount for you guys. So yeah, that's gonna be there. So that was cool. I was like, perfect, man, and I love it. I love the tri-blend too. I can't go wrong with a tri-blend.
Oh no, I mean, it's just it just is a better shirt. It just seriously, it really is.
There it is.
Okay, so it is. Hey, Mama.
Hi, Mama Film Junkie. Yeah.
Okay, so I've been excessively on social media today because it's Batman Day, and I'm always excessive. Yeah, exactly. So I've got some questions for you, Dave, in honor of Batman Day. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Well, what was your first Batman comic?
My first Batman comic. God damn. Man. My first Batman comic I ever got. I can't remember. Oh man, it had I remember. Okay, so it was God, what was her name? It was a crazy villain, and she has the crazy glasses. It was in the 80s, definitely was. She had the crazy glasses. She had like hair that it was like a mohawk.
Oh, Magpie.
Magpie, yes. There was an issue with her as the villain. I don't know what issue that was, but I remember that specifically being my very first Batman comic with Magpie. There you go. I couldn't remember her name. Yeah. What about yours?
Detective Comics 610.
Okay, nice.
It's I can always remember the cover, because it was written by Alan Grant and it was drawn by Norm Borgengoyle. Like, you know, basically the man who flew with Kate Torn so McFarlane could, like, you know, jump off a freaking cliff.
Right.
But I always remember the cover because it was Batman in a graveyard staring down, and like there was even like an Here Lies Penguin statue in the background, but the names of all like the artists and the writer are on the gravestones that are on the cover. Yeah. Oh, it's a sweet cover.
It's always nice when they utilize that space, you know, when they put the illustrators or the authors, the writers, you know, they use the space of like a beautiful cover like that. That's pretty awesome. I love it when they do that kind of stuff.
And it was $1.
$1
cover.
Yeah,
price.
Kids. Oh man. Yeah, I don't even remember.
I got it at a food fair. Back when you could buy comic books at the grocery store.
Jeez, that's where I used to get mine too. Yeah, checking out. Yeah, my mom knows this. I'd be looking at the little comic book rack, and it's like, mom, yeah, definitely.
Oh man, yeah. So okay, so that was it. Okay, first Batman movie.
First Batman movie was, well, I mean, you want to say, I mean, first Batman movie in the theater was definitely Batman '89. I remember seeing that, but I would say if you want to get technical, it would be the Batman '66 movie, because
I still think I saw 89 before I saw the 66 movie. I think I can say that. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw the 66 or the 66 movie before I saw the 89 movie, but I'm pretty sure I can but maybe not. I don't know. I think so though, because 89, I'm trying to remember where we were. We were in Washington at the time, and then we moved to Alabama in 1990, I believe. So yeah, I think it was a 66 movie. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. 2 more. I'm going to go easy on you. Favorite Batman comic.
Favorite Batman comic is probably, I'm going to have to say Long Halloween. I'm just going to put it out just because it's fresh in my brain right now after watching the animated feature and then just going back and just kind of flipping through, reading some pages and just realizing how fucking brilliant that
book it's
so
is. Good. It really is good. Yeah. So, okay. And favorite solo Batman movie.
Favorite solo Batman movie? Dark Knight. I'm going to be trendy. It's just because, I mean, it's mainly obviously because Heath Ledger and stuff, but I mean, it's just, there's just so much with that movie. I mean, I got a piece of the film on my wall over there in the lounge area. So it's just, sometimes though, like I'll watch Batman Begins and just be like, God, it's the best origin. It's my favorite origin story, live action of all the CBMs for sure. But yeah. What about you when it comes to those two?
Dark Knight Returns. That should be no surprise to anyone who knows me.
Yeah.
I even shared the leather-bound complete Frank Miller Batman that I got Christmas of 1989 that I still laugh about because I actually posted on social media today 2 panels that were representative of how inappropriate it was for my aunt to give that to me as a Christmas present when I was 7. Because she didn't know.
Yeah,
it was Batman. Yeah. So I've got like Selena as a prostitute from Batman Year 1. And then I got the scene with like dead Joker with the batarang sticking out of his eye with like Batman bleeding out of his side from Dark Knight Returns going, I had nightmares. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. And looks like Eric shares Dark Knight. And he says Dark Knight Returns. So that's cool.
Yeah. Movie wise, Mask of the Phantasm. I don't care that's animated. Okay. That's my favorite Batman. If I'm allowed to count animation, I know some people have a problem with that, but if I can count animation, Mask of the Phantasm, hands down, has always been my favorite solo Batman movie. No, if you make me pick live action, I'll say Dark Knight. But if I get all of it, Mask of the Phantasm.
No, I say we never. Anytime that you go into Spider-Man, I always say Into the Spideyverse is like up there with Spidey 2, the Raimi Spidey 2. Sometimes I even think it might be better because I don't know. And people always they push back. Oh, it's animation. I'm like, so what? It's so good. Yeah. So there's no problems with saying Mask of the Phantasm for sure. For sure. So
good. Well, I thought that'd be a great little warm up for Batman Day, and totally. And then of course, Reeves decided to deliver today.
Reeves decided to deliver. I was actually going to pull up because obviously, first off, I wanted to pull up the fact that this gentleman right here decided to post on Batman Day. And, it's fitting for this show, Mr. Kevin Conroy.
Oh, yes.
And this right here, there's a hero inside all of us. That is an awesome drawing right there. Really great stuff. So glad to see that he took part in it. Of course, he does every year, and we know that. And then, we had a lot of people doing that. Look at Matt Reeves right here, just giving us a little tease, a little grapple hook, a little grapple gun action right here.
Oh, yeah. And if you look, Reeves is people have noticed that Reeves is wearing purple gloves.
Yep. Yep. That was everything's so planned. So planned. I mean, maybe not the empty like ramen bowl that's over there and some of the napkins scattered.
The Clorox wipes.
Yeah. But I think he was like, purple gloves. Of course. So yes, Mr. Matt Reeves working on some Batman action, which of course we're going to be seeing that new trailer next month. Can't wait. And then we got a little tease of first of all, we got Zach too, also doing some great stuff when it comes to I didn't tweet that much. I didn't retweet that much today. So let's see. We had him, of course, saying happy Batman Day. It's the first day to run. It's a perfect day to run out and grab your copy of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yes. Gotta love that guy. And then, of course, did he post on here? No, he did not, huh?
No, that was only on Vero.
That was only on Vero. I thought I posted about it too, but I thought I retweeted it. But yeah, he also posted the Bat Cow as well. And I love Reeves FX right here showing his many Bat Cows.
Oh,
Guy's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah. So he showed many of those. Yeah, just good stuff. But I thought, and there was a lot of good stuff. You got these McFarlane Jokers, the 3 Jokers that are going to be coming out. That's pretty cool.
And there's a Batman to go with them.
Yeah, there's a Batman to go with him too. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there's a Batman to go with him. Yeah,
that's pretty sweet. And then yeah, of course, you have a Batman Beyond right here from Funko. That looks badass. I want it.
I do want it.
Oh yeah. So then we had this right there. You go. He posted this first, showing, of course, the beautiful chin and eyes of Ben Affleck's Batman.
I believe you.
I believe you. So good. So good. And then yeah, a lot of people are posting a lot of good Batman stuff today.
Yeah, and then we can't go without mentioning that Michael Giacchino posted like a 30-second clip of his score for the Batman.
So good, man.
So good.
Yeah, I know. I haven't listened to it. Like, I was at the barbecue and I was just listening to that. I want to blast it on my speakers as soon as we're done here.
Oh, and do not forget that on HBO Max, it dropped today, their new podcast, Batman: The Audio Adventures, dropped today.
Is that one with Jeffrey Wright?
Jeffrey Wright is Batman. Oh, dude, the man has the perfect Batman voice. It's
I've always loved that guy's voice. I mean, I never really was too familiar with him. Like, I knew who he was, but it wasn't until the Bond films where I was like, okay, I like.
Oh, he's great as Felix. He's so good as Felix,
right? And he's just got that. Yeah, he's got a good Bat voice. You could hear it that low and.
Yeah, but it's I listened to the first episode. They're about 30 to 40-minute episodes. They call them podcasts, but they're like old-timey radio dramas.
I saw the trailer, and I love the fact that it was on like an old-timey radio. And
like that's the image that plays because it's still it is like listening to a podcast, but they give you that image of the radio, and the light like blinks with like the voice, and it's got this weird noir but 66 camp, like it's like
bit of that.
A little bit of that, and so it's entertaining as hell. Like it really is. You get Brent Spiner as the Joker. You get Rosario Dawson as Catwoman. It's got a cast.
She's done a lot of voices in the DC animated world, hasn't she? Rosario. She's done a lot.
Yeah, she was Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I think she played. Did she also? I thought she played. No, was that on? No, what am I thinking? For some reason, I was thinking she played Barbara's voice at one point, but I don't think that's correct.
No, she did. Lego Batman.
Okay, there was. Okay, I was about to say, like, there you go, Lego Batman. Hey, thank you, V, right there. No, Cash Man. That's how I like it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. But yes, guys, and luckily, like I said, we can kind of just forget that, whatever that was last
week. No,
with Nostradamus. We don't have to think about that episode or that villain anymore. Now we have a good one. We have a good one this week. Part 1, Feet of Clay, our little origin of Clayface.
And I'm going to start off with the opening credits.
Yes.
Because I wasn't aware enough as a child to pick up on this. But when it goes, Feet of Clay, and then it said story by, teleplay by, I paused it and I went, what the hell? Did you see who wrote this episode?
I didn't.
Marv Wolfman.
Marv Wolfman. Why do I know that name? Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. Who is it again? Sorry. I thought
he wrote Crisis on Infinite Earths. He wrote the New Teen Titans. He created Cyborg, Starfire, Raven.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they brought somebody in to be like, hey, can you kind of revamp this villain? Because Clayface, they changed it up. They definitely changed it up.
Yes.
Yeah. And they, he needed a bit of an upgrade to be more of a nemesis when it came to, and they definitely did.
But this is not the first time. This is the first time. This won't be the last time that legit, actual comic book writers will write episodes. I can think of at least 2 other comic book writers off the top of my head that I know will write future episodes of the series. But I'm sitting there going, Freaking Marv Wolfman wrote this episode. Why am I not surprised?
Who knew back then? I know this. I mean, this is an episode that's it's one of the, it could possibly, one of the top 10 right here because
definitely. Yes.
Oh man. I mean, and then of course, I mean, we always talk about the score, but man, I tell you what, that Clayface score that you hear, the sadness you hear. I mean, that's what's so great at what Shirley Walker did. I mean, you could look at that with like even Two-Face as well. I mean,
there are so many parallels between the Two-Face two-parter and this Clayface two-parter.
Very much.
Oh, very close. Yes.
Very much. Because I mean, because they both end on cliffhangers, and it's both like it's the reveal of the transformation reveal kind of thing, you know, which is great. And then but it's just those scores. I mean, especially this one, you just fucking hear the sadness. You hear it so much.
It's another tragedy.
It is
like the empathy for the villain, because you're like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it really does. Oh man. But then at the same time, and then even, I mean, another parallel too is like when you see, like when we get acquainted with Matt, and then of course you have Harvey, they both have, you know, some anger issues, you know, in their psyche. So
because they both have mental illness issues, because you know, Harvey had dissociative identity disorder, and then Matt Hagen has post-traumatic stress disorder compounded with drug addiction.
Yep. So it's just all there, and it's just, you just, even though like, they have like that part of them, at the end of both of these episodes, you just feel sorry. You just feel sorry. I'll take a chalupa.
Actually, I just had taco. Like I literally just had taco. We DoorDashed some Taco Bell to watch some TV. So yeah, I got the new crispy chicken sandwich taco.
I want to try that. How was it?
Oh, dude, get the spicy one. They put some jalapeno on it. Oh.
Yeah. I anytime I get a chicken sandwich, it's got to be spicy. I never get a regular chicken sandwich. It's just like, it's all right, but I always have to go spicy. So yeah, I'm gonna have to try that, because you know, with the whole chicken sandwich wars, I'm like, I go, okay, I'll give it a shot. This one's good, that one sucks. Burger King, don't even try it, sucks. You know, Jack in the Box, good. Chick-fil-A, you know, those are good. The Wendy's one, good. Yeah, there's some Popeyes. Yeah, Popeyes where you're at? Popeyes chicken?
They are not easily accessible, but they are around. I mean, honestly, if I'm gonna get a chicken sandwich, I mean, Chick-fil-A is kind of the
Chick-fil-A is number one.
Chick-fil-A is everywhere. but Wendy's is like that nice, like second place when it comes to those chicken sandwiches.
Oh yeah, I had actually last week. It's been months, and I was like, you know what? I'm getting some Chick-fil-A. It was last Saturday. I'm like, I don't care. I got two. I was like, that's how much I was craving that damn chicken sandwich. There you go. Chicken sandwiches, Batman Day, all the stuff. Let's talk about this episode. I mean, we already kind of did with the tragedy. We kind of started dipping our toe in it,
and just like Two-Face Part 1 and Part 2. But this time, the weak animation is in the Part 1. But thankfully, the writing,
it's so good.
It's so good that you don't look past the weak animation, but the weak animation doesn't drag the episode down because the writing is so strong.
I kind of noticed that too. I was like, when it started up, I was like, I think the animation is the top-notch stuff, the top-tier stuff, but you know, with everything else is working for this episode big time. And it starts off so just, you know, down that, you know, out like an abandoned, like kind of factory place, noir-y and stuff like that. You see a rat, and then all of a sudden you see some feet. An exchange is going to happen, and it's basically, well, who we see there is Bruce Wayne. Or is it? Yeah. Meeting, dun, of course. Dun, dun, dun. And then meeting, which I think we've only seen him one other time, right? Or has there been more?
Yes. This is interesting to me because in broadcast order, this would have been our first time meeting Lucius Fox.
Interesting. That's right.
In production order, we noticed that our first time seeing Lucius Fox was in See No Evil. But this will be one time where I kind of have to give it to broadcast order, this would be a much stronger introduction of
100%.
Lucius Fox.
Yeah.
100%. Than in See No Evil.
Yeah. And so they're gonna, they go into this empty warehouse, factory place, or whatever. And I love
it's a tramway station.
There, yeah, tramway. Okay, yeah. But I love how there was this little added thing to it, because they go through a fence, and then one of the boards of the fence just
falls over.
Yeah, and it's just I just kind of went, huh? That was just a nice little added bonus. There was a little ambiance of yeah, this is where they're at. And there's a little board that you could easily access this place. And then it just falls over. And then we go cut to the inside. I'm like, that's just somebody went, you know what? Make that board fall over. Do that. I mean, and then it probably took
right
2
there.
days to do it. Yeah, it's there's some extra work to it, but there's just something about something a little extra right there that I thought was pretty cool. Let's see. So then Bruce is just, Bruce,
yeah, air
Bruce,
quotes.
He's, he sounds oh yeah, my phones are bugged and blah blah blah. Starts mentioning Daggett. This is the first time we start hearing about Daggett. Of course, rest in peace, Ed Asner, who voices Daggett in this movie, who passed away recently. And so when all this is happening, Lucius kind of realizes that, hey, what the hell? This is interesting. This might be a setup. What's going on here? And then I love the fact that, Bruce goes, yeah, I'm just accepting your resignation, Mr. Fox. It's kind of I don't know. It's something. Like I said, it's yeah. One of those.
It was very mustache twirly, right there.
Yeah. And then Lucius walks off with runs off, I should say, with the briefcase. Luckily, it's kind of funny when the shots get fired. Luckily, Batman was close by.
I know, right? But you also noticed that the guys didn't have Tommy guns; they had shotguns.
That's true. It wasn't the normal It was more of boom, boom, and then yeah, sure enough, Batman's just on a rooftop, just watching over his city, and he just happens to hear, of course. And then it's funny too, because one of the goons, the goons of Daggett, he's always wearing a headset.
Bell, that was his name.
Yeah,
Raymond Bell.
Yeah. So he's always listening to the police scanners. It's like his thing is listening to police scanners. So then of course he hears that the police are going to be coming. They're going to be calling in. And then it's funny because he goes, it's another great Batman entrance, because he's like, the police are coming. And he's all, too late, dirtbag. And it's Kevin Conroy, of course, sells the shit out of it. There's some good lines. There's some good Batman lines in here.
Oh, yeah. Well, once again, Marv Wolfman. Thank you, Marv.
Yeah.
Marv, you did good, boy.
We know that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because, when Lucius is running off, I mean, they shoot the sign lands. That perfect, animation thing where you just shoot a sign, falls on somebody, and they, that just.
And they're out cold.
They're just out, it doesn't matter. Just a little sign. So the police rush in, and then Batman comes in after saying the line, and then he kind of takes all three goons out, but then he fights one of them. And it's kind of funny because there's that whole intense fight moment where they land on some big huge gears, and there's
that really grinds my gears, Dave. It really grinds my gears. I did have a Peter Griffin moment going, that grinds my gears.
Yeah. You know what really grinds my gears, America?
And that goon was Germs. Germs is who that is, because let's talk about the voice cast for a second, because Germs is Ed Begley Jr.
What?
Yes.
Oh, I did not know that. Oh, I love it. See, I don't like to even look at the voices anymore, because I like to be surprised when you tell me. That's crazy.
Because he gets it. Because I know this because he's not really. You only get one moment later in this episode where him being Germs. Mm-hmm. He really pays off in part 2 with him being Germs. But yeah, the pencil mustache guy, that is Ed Begley Jr. Yes.
Wow, there it is. So I didn't even, so I'll be listening to that, of course, with part 2. So that's pretty good. But yeah, they always had that intense moment where, fighting, and then the gears, and of course somebody's gonna get their head squashed. I don't think I remember. The Batman just kicks him off of him, right?
He just kicks him off and knocks. Yeah. Basically, he knocks him out cold against the wall.
Yeah,
because then he's got the guy on the stairs. He's gonna get the shotgun, and Batman does that cool ass move where he grabs the barrel of the shotgun and then swings it around and smacks the guy in the gut.
There you go. Good Batman moment right there. And of course, the police rush in and find Lucius. And he just is like, Bruce Wayne, Bruce Wayne. So it's already like, okay, there's a little bit of a setup that's going to be happening right here. And of course, Batman takes off. And it's funny too, because when you see the shot of like looking up, you have one guy that's hanging off like, a railing. He's like kicking his feet, like, what the hell? Then you have Bell and I guess Germs that they're like, all right, let's get out of here. So they of course book it out of there. And then, so the police leaving, and then we get a shot of Bruce, which of course we know is Matt Hagen, who walks past. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool little setup because it's like he walks past his very own movie poster, and zero in on it, and then it cuts to the film set like the next day. And this is where we
looks a lot like a Warner Brothers set, like the Warner Brothers, because I saw the water tower in the background.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course they got to put that Easter egg in there, of course. But this is where we get fully introduced to Matt Hagen, and you know what? It's kind of cool because when he's, they're like doing that whole thing, like they're ready, and then his stand-in goes to find him, and he's in his trailer, and he's losing his mind, but on the mirror they give you the hints on the mirror as opposed to just like. What, showing a backstory of like his accident, it's on the mirror. It's like he's always reminding himself that this is what happened to me right here. As I look at my disfigured face, this is what caused that. So of course he's losing because he can't get his face cream to make his face look all purty like it was.
Which that's always been an intense scene because he is an addict. Yes. He is looking for any drop of it. And did you happen, because I did not make the note, what his stand-in's name was? Who was the stand-in's name?
I don't remember I don't think I remember his name now.
Yeah, I feel so bad.
I just put stand-in.
I know. And it's just, and he's just looking at him like, oh dude, you are so you're so effed up right now. And this is interesting how they changed up Clayface, because by this point, by the 90s, there have been about 3 Clayfaces in the comics. And at the time, Matt Hagen was the current Clayface. But in the cartoon series, they decided to make Matt Hagen an actor, which matches up with the first Clayface from the comics, who was Basil Carlo.
Yeah,
so I thought it was interesting that they took his, and this won't be the last time they do it, where they take Basil's origin story, but give him the name of the more current character in the comics continuity.
That's pretty cool, though. I like the fact that, and that's probably Marv just kind of going like, hey, let's kind of just do it like this. We'll have, because, I mean, again, it's kind of what we're kind of seeing with the scene. And by the way, Ron Perlman.
Oh, my God.
Come on. I mean, the way that man can yell. I mean, that voice and the whole scene is just basically just him yelling. I mean, it's just so good. But you're kind of just seeing, like you said, we're seeing somebody who is who has an addiction, and he's doing it because he wants to keep his job. He wants to keep on acting. I mean, obviously, like, he impersonated Bruce Wayne. I mean, obviously he had a little help with that, but I mean, when it comes to, I guess you have to suspend a little disbelief when it comes to
the vocal cord thing.
Yeah. Like, how is he like totally pulling off the voice? Not really explained, but we'll just assume that Hagen is just really good at, mimicking someone's voice for sure. But we're just seeing somebody who there's like a line in there too, where he goes like, or like he needs it so bad. It's like, if he doesn't have it, he mentioned something about if I want to do horror movies for the rest of my life, as opposed to the movies that he really wants to do, which, because his face is that disfigured. But yeah, they really emphasize that his addiction to this cream. I mean, to the point where, his assistant, or not assistant, but his stand-in is holding out on him. He like has a little bit left, and he goes, "You've been holding out on me," and he's just yelling at him, and you could just see it, and to the point when he opens it up, he's like, he's like making those.
Oh, he's like his tongue sticking out.
He's like salivating.
Yeah, and his stand-in is sitting there going, "Well, if I didn't, you wouldn't even have this."
Yeah,
like it's weird because his stand-in, like, he gets it. Like, I know you need, but he knows it's bad. It makes his stand-in such a intriguing character, because it's like, I know I'm assisting in the addiction, but I'm trying to save you at the same time. Like, once again, this wonderful, like, shades of gray. Like, I'm trying to be your friend. I know you need this stuff to fix your face, but it's screwing with your head because it is a drug addiction.
I know. And this is what's sad too. I mean, he's just witnessing it. And then, you know, especially when it's so perfect how it ends, how it's his stand-in who finds him. It's like, well, we'll get to that point, but it's just pretty perfect how it is. But yeah. And then Matt is just kind of going like, hey, well, you know, if I need just like unlimited amount of this stuff. I mean, he's now getting to the point where it's like, nah, this just having a little bit left. That's it. You know, I need just nonstop of this stuff. So
because it only lasts 24 hours.
Yeah. That's what he mentions too. You know, there's some, you know, good exposition. I think it's well written exposition because they really do like emphasize like, you know, why he needs this, what is happening, and all this stuff. And it's actually with the exchange that this is happening, it's good exposition. You know, sometimes it could just be an exposition dump, and you're like, Jesus Christ, this is actually
like you're explaining to someone who already know, like his stand-in knows information. So it's like, how do you share the information in a way that the audience, especially a children's audience, gets the information that they need, but you don't feel like you're being talked down to. And you also don't get that suspension of disbelief of, why are you telling this person this information? This person already knows this information.
Exactly. Good writing right there. And we know why now.
Yes.
We know why. We know somebody helped. Somebody who in the business helped. But so yeah, so then we get all that, and then, you know, it's a cool little thing that we know that Daggett is behind it because you see on the little, you know, the bottle, whatever, the lid, it says Daggett right on it. So we know, all right, that's where he's gonna have to get it. And this is where we well, he justifies it, yes. And then we see Daggett on the bottle, and then we're back to the Daggett factory. And then this is where we get introduced fully to Daggett. And like I said, may he rest in peace. Ed Asner, great voice actor. I mean, you hear that voice, it's strong, it's commanding. We love hearing Ed Asner's voice. But yeah, he's basically explaining to, you know, Germs and Bell, like, hey, like why he needed to get those papers or get that briefcase from Lucius Fox is because he knows like that.
He knows. He starts off by he's concerned about the goon that get left behind.
Yeah, that too.
And I love it because he's tying up loose ends. He's like, how do we trust this guy? Didn't know names. He was a hired gun.
Yeah,
we can let him, you know, float in the wind. We can let him drift in the wind. It's fine.
Yeah, like, it's fine. Just do that. And then you know, then he realizes that he's like, well, Matt, maybe we should just cut him loose, you know, because he didn't do the job that he was supposed to do. But then even like Bell backs him up. I think it was Bell that backs him up and kind of goes like, well, no, maybe it was Germs. I don't know. I think it was Germs actually, who kind of backs him up and says like, well, this guy literally, you know, transformed himself into Bruce Wayne. How do you beat that, you know, kind of thing? And he's just kind of backing him up. But then he was like, nah, Daggett just has had it. And he knows that he has the goods. He knows that Matt's going to be coming for this. So let's just hold out, wait till he shows up. I know he's going to, and then we'll take care of him.
We don't have to go to him. He's going to come to us.
Exactly. And what happens in the next scene? Well, Matt sneaks on to the Daggett factory or the Daggett grounds. And of course, he's going to try to get as much as possible. So,
oh my God. And doesn't that just like cue you into addiction? He goes for the giant vat of stuff and just like goes like double-handed into it and just starts like slathering it all on his face. And like, if that doesn't just communicate an addict, who just like you don't need that much of the stuff. That might be the reason you're running out so quickly.
I know. I kind of wondered about that too. I mean, they really emphasized that he just totally just smears it on his face. Like, don't you just need like a little bit to like start clearing and it soaks in, you could start, you know, doing the thing. But yeah, he just like, once he gets in there, he gets that big, huge, he's just, he's essentially just bathing in it almost, which, you know, ends up being and it's just, he's like,
and we'll learn later that that's all part of the plan, but you know, that's in part, I mean, spoiler for part 2, exposition we'll get later, but But once again, it's all set up so that when we get that explanation in part 2, we understand it because they didn't have to tell us because they've already shown us with the way that Hagen like needs the renew you formula.
Exactly. And then so then when people show up, or when Germs and Bell show up, like in the room where all the stuff is, you know, he just pulls the Bruce Wayne thing again. And you know, Bell is like, come on, really? You're Bruce Wayne. And then we get even more too, because they have a little fight and some of the cream goes down the drain. Guess who starts freaking out? Hagen. He saw his addiction go down the drain. Again, emphasizing how much that he needs the stuff, that when he saw it go down the drain, he came out of character, and all of a sudden you hear the Ron Perlman voice, no longer the Conroy voice. And he starts losing it. So, I mean, they did such a good job at emphasizing the addiction level on this. Again, kid show, because then what happens, and it's funny too, because I was like,
kid show.
Yes, I know, because what's funny though is just like, what's funny is like, when they do this, I mean, I'm gonna pull up that scene actually now. I wasn't gonna have it linked up, but yeah, I mean, they really just kind of emphasize like I said, kid show, and the fact that there's like an addiction level with all this, and it's just kind of funny because, you know, there's just like, okay, if you want so much more of this, so much of this stuff, well, we're gonna give it to you. I mean,
oh my God, talk about OD. That we basically in a kid's after school cartoon watch an OD happen on screen.
Yeah, like, and there's the way that they even though the animation not the top tier, it's still the directing of this scene right
so
here.
Disturbing.
It's
like
so good.
They're holding him down.
Yes.
Hey boy wanted more of this stuff. Let's give it to him.
Let's give it to him.
Not that way.
Not that way. And look at that. That has been disturbing since I was 10.
Oh my God. And then he screams, and it's just like, good Lord, man. It's like, yeah. I mean, I remember that's what on Twitter, that GIF, I think it was from the official Batman the Animated Series.
It's from a fan account.
Oh, was it a fan account? Okay.
It was a fan account, but one of those fan accounts that like does a great job, like Batman Animated or something. Yeah. But they,
and that's when I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah, see, look at that shot. That is somebody essentially almost being put to death right there in this kid show. And I'm like, good Lord, man. And then it's just like, okay, but you know what I forgot is like, oh yeah, I mean, this is pretty much the last we see of Hagen till the end. You know, that's what's so great about this is like, there's like, okay, they established, you know, the addiction and who he is. He sneaks on there and then gets this, and then we don't see him until the very end of the episode, really, and we don't technically see him.
Right? Oh, but also the fact that they're like dragging him out. They stick him in this car. And then the fact that his arm is there, and then his arm starts to melt, and it's
you're kind of like, huh? Yeah.
Oh God, that was, and you can kind of start seeing how like his head is all like, you know, even his hair's gone. And
it's perfectly like the way that they do that, because you're kind of going like, okay, so what would that do? I mean, obviously, you know, we know where it's going to end up, but it's just shot. It's just the way that it plays out is very well when they drag him out to the car, and you kind of see like you said, you see like his hand go down, and it just kind of, it just starts kind of drains off of him. And then,
and it's interesting too, because the way he looks then is actually more of what the classic Clayface looks like in the comics, because Clayface in the comics is more just like a mud man.
Yeah.
Like he's not the comics have actually adapted to make Clayface look the way he looks, the way they designed him for the animated series.
Exactly.
When he was originally introduced in the comics, he was a mud man. And I think that the Hagen look in the car in the middle of the episode is kind of an homage to, this is what the comic book version of Clayface.
We're not going to do that this time. No. And see, that's what's so great about this series is how much impact it actually had on the books. I mean, obviously it's pulling from the books, but then it had impact on the books, which is what's great about it. I mean, there's so many, you know, I mean, So, you know, we can name them all, but I mean, the fact that, yeah, that after this, now when people think Clayface and they want like a live action Clayface, they just think of this version. I mean, even the Harley Quinn show has this version. Of course, it's a comedy thing, but it's full on this version. And it's just like, it kind of makes you wonder, like, will we ever see a live action in it? And you kind of go, I mean, it would be cool. It would be cool to see a live action version of this, but and a lot of people are wanting it, but man, that would be
a great character. He's a great character for a theatrical movie. Now he would be almost entirely CGI unless you do some incredible practical CGI blending, which I think actually personally I would want them to go with. You know, I wouldn't want him to be a totally CGI character because that just still looks rubbery and fake.
Yeah.
Like do some sort of practical CGI hybrid.
Yeah.
Because you do kind of want him to be this design where he becomes like this big, massive, like Gollum from like Jewish mythology. He becomes a Gollum character and he's just huge and massive.
That's got to be, whoever attempts to do that, it's going to be interesting to see what that happens. So then we go back to the Batcave, and it's kind of cool. You know, I was thinking about this. Like Batman is trying to figure out who some of these people are, and he's literally like, I mean, I guess you could say that this is, you know, especially with Hagen adjusting his face. So Batman is kind of doing that, but his, you know, in his computer where he's trying to like figure out who the goons are. And he kind of like, he's reshaping and going boop, boop, boop to figure out who Raymond Bell is.
I thought it was cool because he's using the back computer like a sketch artist.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that. Yeah.
No, the nose is wide. No, not that wide. Yeah. No, shrink it. And but of course, since it's the back computer, as soon as he gets the face, the back computer can like instantaneously like
Raymond Bell
match it to you know, to criminal files. So like,
and it even mentions in the criminal files that he wears headphones and listens in, you know, which is kind of funny. It's like I was like going like, oh wow, even the files know that, and then I realized how that helps Batman in like the next scene.
Right? Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But then Alfred kind of lets him know that, hey, did you not see the paper today there, buddy? I mean, you've been down here. I guess you didn't see the paper, where the paper actually shows that, you know, talks about how Lucius Fox hospitalized and Bruce Wayne's name has been mentioned. And he's just like, what? You know, he's like, what the hell? What is going on here? So it's just kind of like, and oh man, and we're going to definitely watch the cliffhanger of this, just the way that it all ends with Bruce and with all this. But yeah. So we have that. And then, so then we cut to Raymond, who, of course, still listening to his headphones. He's coming out of his apartment, and he hears that there's a warrant out for his arrest and that the police are coming to get him. So he's just like, all right, well, good luck.
Get the hell out of Dodge.
Yes. He's like, I'm leaving Gotham then. Bye. And he drives away like a maniac a little bit. And then he's hearing it, and we're kind of like, and then we see the Batwing. God, I love the Batwing.
Oh, I love the Batwing. It's got that stealth mode.
Yes,
it's like you realize you're flying through the city and you're not like, you know, it's kind of like a
When it goes past you, you just hear like ooh, like that.
Yeah, this Doppler effect is really all you're getting.
Pretty much. So he's listening to that. And because he's hearing like a woman's, you know, police, you know, like dispatcher. And then we find out it's actually Batman. So he knew, since he got it from the back computer, that, hey, I'm going to like link into, you know, his little scanner thing. And so then we actually see Batman, like, you know, talking into his like a little walkie-talkie thing, you know, that his little his receiver in the Batwing. And it's just a cool scene because there's like really no music, and he's just kind of pursuing Bell. And then Bell gets to the tunnel, and he just books it in there. He like, there's a little traffic jam, one lane's closed. He's like, screw this, gets in there because he sees that Batman is coming. And then Batman goes, you think the tunnel is gonna stop me? No,
I'm in a plane. You realize that, right? I'm in a plane. Which this is, as it was happening, I was like, oh, I remember what happened. It's like I was having one of those moments where I was like,
me too.
Oh yes, because he flies to the other end of the tunnel, comes in, and I love it when, you know, when you do something like the Batwing and you use this design where he's got like the little pointy ear thing, and you actually utilize that. So he like literally stabs Bell's car and then basically forklifts him up into the air, impaled by the Batwing. I love that.
It's so good. It's so good. And yeah, so it turns out, yeah, and then he goes through there, and yeah, I'm with you on that too, because I would love to actually get some kind of, I mean, I know they're out there. I've seen like the toy versions of this Batwing. I love the animated series Batwing design. I really do. I like the Burton one, but that's like a perfect like bat. This one, the wings even are pointier. There's just something about this Batwing that I really love.
This Batwing looks more like it's actually built to fly.
Yeah, true. It's funny too, because I had the Burton like Micro Machines Batwing. I don't know if you had that.
Oh, I had the full blown one that like had like the gun handle where you could like fly it around like this and like shoot little discs out from the little front part. I had that Batwing. Yeah,
I had the Micro Machines one. It wasn't so micro because it was like this big. First off,
okay,
and it was full on. I think it was just made out of like some pretty good aluminum. You had a little Batman inside. This thing was fucking dangerous. Okay. This is like the toys that we grew up on. They didn't really have the safety measures probably that toys have now, because I remember specifically my brother, we were at like our grandparents' house and they had like a tree in the back. I think it had oranges on it. He decided to take it, and because we were like playing and we're doing something, and he went whoosh, and he just went like that and literally sliced into the orange peel. Okay. That's how freaking this thing was heavy, and it was kind of sharp. Like if you put some oomph in it, you could really do something. Like it was really cool. I wish I still had it. Maybe my mom has it in a crate somewhere.
But I'm going to say this. Maybe they didn't have the safety measures.
Yeah.
But our toys last for 20, 30 years.
Yeah. This thing probably, yeah. I mean, the paint started chipping, but
Well, it's not, but like my kids' toys can even last 5 years. Yeah. And yet toys from when I was, from 30 years ago, like still hold up. I'm just saying.
I'm like, if this thing's in a crate somewhere, it's still probably in good condition, even though the paint probably chipped, because I play with it a lot. I mean, it was like heavy. The landing gears came down, and then a little Batman inside. And this was like Micro Machines, just like doing like their own version of that. It was really, really cool. But anyways, back to this Batwing, and I love the fact that, so yeah, he's got it impaled, and then he's got a little claw that just
like out. the Burton Batwing had the claw because in Burton he used it to grab the balloons.
Yeah,
he took my balloons.
Why didn't somebody tell me he had one of those? Thanks. I love that line because he's like, well, I don't even know what to call that. He's so pissed, and he's like, "Things, what are those things?" I just love that line. It always makes me laugh. I'm like, was that in the script? Was that an ad lib? I want to know.
Knowing Nicholson probably an ad lib.
Yeah,
but once again, that was kind of cool because once again, the animated series did take some cues from the Burton films, and so there was that claw, which was cool because the claw takes the door off the car, and then it also like grabs Belle and then somehow pushes the car off.
Yeah.
So I just love the fact that we spend the entire interrogation with Belle hanging by an arm.
Starts off with, "Listen, scumwad. Listen up, scumwad." I'm like, ooh, easy, Bats. Watch your mouth, okay? Language, scumwad. Now we're at scumwad here. I like it.
Who met with Lucius Fox?
Yeah.
Wayne. Bruce Wayne. You lying sleazebag. Oh, I forgot what the line was, but
did I write it? I don't think I wrote it either. No, I didn't write it either. But
Ray can quote this whole thing, but but it's like, you lying sleaze.
Yeah.
And then he's like dragging him like across the surface of the river.
Yes, I mean, he is just. I mean, talk about just. Raymond must have pissed shit, everything. Like, his undies are just soiled at this point because he's just like, "Don't drop me, Batman!" And then he faints.
and I love Batman's reaction. Batman is disgusted.
Yeah, he fainted. Like he's just like, really? He fainted. It's like, well, what did you think was gonna happen, dude? It's like you're just like you're scaring the living shit out of him right now. And then of course the police choppers come and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing? Put your perp down, man." And then Batman, I mean, just to make even go like, God, man, he was just on a good one.
It was on a good one.
Because he sees like a swimming pool on a rooftop and goes, "This'll wake you up." And then he just drops him, but from pretty high up. He didn't just like hover and then just drop. No, it's like he just went and he just perfectly lined him up. And it was like, he almost looks like he's going to miss.
Yes.
It almost looks like he's going to miss at one point. And it's like, can you imagine if he just went splat? Oops. Well, that didn't work out. But not luckily, he, of course, hit the pole. And then, of course, Raymond.
By the way, nitpick. Did you realize the cop said, "Batwing, this is Gotham Police"? I went, "You know what to call the thing?" I'm just.
Maybe he told Gordon. Gordon was like,
"No,
hey,
right? Yeah,
he's in a Batwing right now." Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe
I know, but I did notice that. I was like,
I know. I didn't notice that.
Batwing. Yeah,
I didn't notice that one. That's crazy. So we have that. He fainted in the pool. Okay, so this is where we get to, the finale of this. And it's really cool because, well, it's interesting because we have Bruce. It just shows up to Lucius's hotel, his room,
his hospital room.
Hospital room. But but it's just like he sneaks in because he has to, because he's in the papers and everything like that. So it's not like he can just walk in and go like, "Hey, can I visit Lucius Fox?" So he has to kind of Batman as he's Bruce Wayne, because he's got the rope and he's up there and everything like that. But he needs to, he really needs to be like, "Hey, Lucius, what the hell?" Like he needs to get to the bottom of why am I being blamed for you in here? And there's, of course, Raymond right there. "Screw you, this guy." Now let's hear it. Oh, no, he didn't say Batwing right here. But yeah.
No, that was earlier.
Right, yeah.
I mean, let's be serious. I mean, I know why Bruce is doing this, but it's like, what?
Why?
Yeah.
But it does add to the cliffhanger, at least,
Yes, it does. But I love how he's wearing his turtleneck.
Yeah.
He's got his khakis on.
Lucius, it's okay. It's me, Bruce.
Bruce did rock a lot of turtlenecks.
He did. He definitely did.
Take it easy. There's nothing to be afraid of. You know I'd never do anything to hurt you.
And then he's just like, "Come on, man." It's like, what were you expecting, Bruce?
I know. There's a little bit of that, isn't there?
Yeah. What were you expecting? But, he had to get to the bottom of it.
There's his car.
So this is it right here. I mean, it's just so perfect that it's his stand-in that finds him like this. And then, oh man, this is where we first really get a
look at that, and look at that right there. How that's like him. Like that's like him leaking.
Wait, are you in there?
Oh.
Yeah. And then we get Bruce taken away in handcuffs.
And we'll have continuing updates on
looking
this
sad.
Breaking story. The arrest of millionaire industrialist Bruce Wayne at the scene of an attempt on the life of Wayne executive Lucius Fox.
And her little, whatever that bow thing is on her.
You know what? That's it was a choice. It was a choice.
See, here, so we get a little sense of like the theme right here, the sadness in this theme. But yeah.
And the breathing.
This is like a horror movie.
Yes. Because it is. It's like a universal movie monster.
Yeah. There's that theme right there.
It's just like him screaming right before Grace in Two-Face. Oh,
exactly. It's just such a good way to end that right there. He's even got like spit in his mouth too. That's like, between his teeth, and goddamn Ron Perlman. And then we get that, just Ron Perlman. I it's funny too, because when you go back and see who voiced some of these people, and you go like, yeah, of course. That's because even when you like listen to Ron Perlman now, and you go like, maybe you even go like, why do I recognize that voice? Maybe it's because the first time maybe I heard Ron Perlman was this episode or something.
Oh, I know for a fact that this was my introduction to Ron Perlman, and I probably didn't even really know who Ron Perlman was later on until like Hellboy.
Yeah, I think Hellboy is when people were really like, I think my first introduction, which was another comic book movie, was Blade 2.
Yes, he was in Blade 2. and Blade 2 came before Hellboy. So then
I'm trying to remember, like,
no, Blade 2 was before Hellboy. So I did see him in Blade 2 before I saw Hellboy, but it was one of those that while I maybe saw Blade 2, I didn't go, oh, but you're Ron Perlman when I saw him in Hellboy.
That's true. And then see, I mean, it's like but then you go back and you go, oh yeah, but he's been in other stuff that you didn't know that he was in. It's just like when, but then you have Blade 2, but then you also have Alien as Resurrection. He was also in there. I think that was he did. You know what? I know that movie, and especially her road trip movie. He did have a really good line in that movie. I will say, I will be like, because there's a part where, when Ripley, Super Ripley, whatever you want to call her, hybrid Ripley, whatever they were going for in that movie. She goes like, who do I have to fuck to get off this rig? And then he just goes, oh, I'll get you off. Maybe not the rig, but it was a good line. It was a good line. I remember like seeing that in the theaters and laughing. And I always thought, yeah, that was a good line. He was like a snarky asshole in that movie.
Well, Ron Perlman does really good with snarky asshole. And I'm very happy that him and Guillermo del Toro have continued to have, like, you can always rely on Ron Perlman to show up in a Del Toro movie. And
I loved him in Pacific Rim. Come on, man. He was great as that dealer, that black market dealer, man. It was good.
Oh, and then also like when Guillermo del Toro did what was that they turned into a TV series on FX. It was the Vampire series, and I'm trying to remember.
The Strain.
The Strain, yeah. Ron Perlman was the narrator for the first audiobook.
Yep. Oh, I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
And trust me,
they did like a dual release kind of thing, I think.
Oh, yeah. And he was so missed when he didn't read books 2 and 3. It was like, dude, you gave me Ron Perlman in book 1, and then
that's it.
And then that's it. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, man, just so good. But yeah, that's the way it ends. Like I said, the parallels to the Two-Face one with the reveal, and just the way that they reveal. I mean, obviously when it came to Two-Face, so tragic, in the way that he just comes out of that hospital room, and the thunder and the lightning, and then Grace is there, and he just like looks at her like that. This time, what I like, thinking about it too right now, it's like, what did we start off with when it came to meeting, full on meeting Hagen? It's the fact that he's always looking at himself in the mirror. What do we get right here? We don't get like a full on, we get a side view, and then we get a mirror, the rear view mirror shot of him looking at himself. And then he just, and it's just,
oh yeah,
God damn it, man. Just such a gem.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see, you almost have to believe that Marv Wolfman also wrote part 2.
Yeah.
But we do know that we get the
Spectrum
animation for part 2. Like,
it's funny how like they reversed it on this one. It's weird.
Well, think about what happens in part 2. You need
there's a lot of
there's all that morphing that goes on. Yeah.
Right.
And when you brought up last week the whole idea that maybe this was inspired by Terminator 2, I was like, damn, this is totally like T-1000 level. Like,
I mean, that's going on. I'm looking at like when this came out, and thinking about all that. I'm like, it's right around then. It's like, how do you, if you have a character like this that can actually, mimic other people and do all that, it's like, there's your fucking template right there. James Cameron just laid it out right there. But, but instead of liquid metal, you have clay. Yeah, mud. Let's just do it like that. And man,
and the mud is almost even more because, oh my God, let's talk about, I know one thing we'll talk about next week, the sound design for the clay, that sound.
It gives you the heaves and the jeebs.
Yes, it does.
My God. So make sure you guys watch that next weekend. We'll, I'm pretty sure we'll be at the normal time, the normal bat time for next week. I don't think any barbecues or parties are happening, so don't worry about that. But this was just this was perfect for Batman Day. Hopefully, you guys celebrated as much as possible. I'm going to be looking through my tweets and stuff and seeing what I missed, and then just magnifying, just looking at that Matt Reeves post.
Enhance.
Dude, I mean, it's just looking at that. I was like, even looking, I'm like, you got the gun right there. It looks like it's pretty, I don't know. I'm just like, what is happening? And is it before he goes up through that we saw in the first trailer when all the cops are kind of
the staircase?
Yeah, the staircase. I'm wondering if that's where that is. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. That trailer, man, it's gonna be cannot wait.
I am preparing my soul and my body for that trailer because that first one from last Fandom was amazing.
Yeah. And I'm also preparing to be like, okay, this one might not be as good. Okay.
Right.
Then,
right. Yeah.
Because that one we really didn't know what to expect.
That came out of freaking thin air.
We did not expect like 7 meets, Batman, I guess, pretty much. We did not know that Matt Reeves was like, well, what, you want dark? Well, hold my beer. I'll show you fucking dark. And so now that we kind of know the aesthetic, we're going to get more of like, okay, more of that aesthetic and seeing, more of the characters and maybe some more dialogue.
Do you think this trailer is going to actually have Giacchino's score to it? Like, I
think that would be probably smart, especially if they both posted it today. Like he posted it and then Reeves, retweeted it. I'm like, yeah, you gotta have that in there in this one if you're gonna have a full on, because technically that first trailer was a teaser.
Right.
It's weird how nowadays teasers are like the same length as trailers.
Yes.
It used to be like 30 seconds to a minute. Now like teasers can go as long as regular, but you watch that first trailer or that first teaser and you kind of just go like, yeah, it just shows beats and aesthetic and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, but you didn't really get story or nothing. You just got shots in this shot and that shot. You got Catwoman, you got Penguin, you got all this stuff right here. Now it's like with this one, they're going to have to start dipping into the story of this. And I'm like, okay, we're finally going to get Andy Serkis's fucking Alfred. Like, we're going to see what he looks like.
Are we going to get Falcone?
Yes, Falcone. I'm sure we're going to get all of that, I think. Oh, man.
And will we actually get to see Paul Dano, as well, because they're even calling him Nashton. Like they're using the old school Riddler name.
Which a lot of people are like, what? It's like, Reeves is going for it, man. He's like, yeah, people are gonna be like, what is happening? And like, yeah, he wasn't always Nigma. Well, we'll get to there. Don't worry, guys. But yeah, it's gonna
my god, I have been thinking there was something that happened this week that, my god, when we get to If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich? I am like so ready for that episode.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be another good one. But anyways, guys, yes, this was excellent. Thank you guys for clicking in. Appreciate you guys especially doing that for it being later than usual. And go ahead, Scott, plug yourself.
Well, of course, you can find me on Twitter at ScottDC27. You can find my podcast, the DC Squadcast, where a podcast can be found. Tim and I will be doing a retrospective of Season 1 of Doom Patrol in preparation for the Season 3 release next weekend. And then we are on Vero, Facebook, YouTube. You can find the entire network of shows at squadcastmedia.com. And as always, every Saturday night with this mook over here, talking Batman, the Fan-imated stream. And remember, Feet of Clay, part 2.
Here you go, guys. Smash that like, thumbs up before you leave. Become a member if you want to. Make sure you're subscribed if you want to support the Patreon. And like I said, you patrons aren't there if you want to get yourself a shirt. It's going to be in there. We got our course showed it off just in case you guys didn't see it. We got the Batman Fan-imated shirt right there. Looks nice, beautiful, good quality shirt right there. The tri-blend. And man, I mean, that's why I always like to get it sent to me first. And like, I tell you what, like the art, they like somehow it got a little darkened and it makes it pop a little better. It's dark. It's darker than what it looks.
Yes, it looks. I was going to say that I like the darker colors.
Like I didn't. It wasn't anything like I really did. I just took the art that I already had that was made by Alessandro Mascasciai, and then just added the logo to the corner. You don't know how long it took me to find like a place for that logo. I had it behind us. I had it right down here. I had it, how it is on our opening thing. I was like, now I'm like, I don't know where to put it. Maybe I should just have. This wasn't like it's a simple design, but it took me a little bit to really go like, yeah, put it in the corner. Just put it right there. I'm just gonna put it in the corner. Yeah, I was like,
and it had to be, and you wanted to be the bottom right hand corner. That was a choice.
Yeah, it was a choice. I'm like, yeah. And then I even tried it on the other corner. I was like placing everywhere. I was having some fun with that, but that's what I like doing, though. I mean, that's what when it comes to Photoshop, I'm like becoming like just that. It's just fun to do. And I did that. I think that was last weekend that I did that, or was it the weekend before? I don't know. I think it was actually the weekend before where I was just doing that, just sipping on a drink and just kind of going, no. There you go. Perfect. So there you go, guys. Check it all out. We appreciate you guys clicking in as per usual. We'll see you next week for Feet of Clay Part 2, of course. And yeah, guys, we love you, and we'll talk to you later.